Olivia de Havilland knew that Hollywood would never forgive her when she went to court in 1943. Behind her back, her co-stars called her a liar. The people who ran the studio lied about her to everyone who would listen. She had trouble finding work for almost 2 years. She lost almost all of her friends because she stood up to Warner Brothers. This is the true story of how America's favorite girl turned into Hollywood's most feared. Her birthday is July 1, 1916, and she was born in Tokyo, Japan. Lillian Augusta Roos and Walter Augustus de Havilland, her parents, were both from Britain. Both her father and mother were teachers and property lawyers. Her mother used to be an actress. Olivia's sister, Joan Fontaine, was born the next year. At the time, their family lived in Tokyo's International District. The world was still getting back on its feet after World War I. Things changed quickly for them in 1919, though. When Lillian found out Walter was cheating on her, she had to make the hard choice to leave him and move to California with both of her girls. Walter stayed in Japan and didn't talk to them for most of their lives. In the beginning, they lived in San Francisco. Later, Lillian moved the family to Saratoga, a quiet town south of the city. She thought that her daughter's health would be better in the warmer weather. Olivia and Joan did not have a father when they were young, and that changed their lives. Olivia was strong from a young age, even when she wasn't with him. She liked to read and tell stories, which were early signs of the job that would define her. Their last name, de Havilland, comes from Guernsey, a small island in the English Channel, where their family came from. Olivia's British background helped her feel like she had a place in the world as she made her way in America. Lillian got married again in 1924 when Olivia was 8 years old. George Milan Fontaine, her new husband, was strict and believed in following rules. He had strict rules and didn't show much kindness. Olivia and Joan were not allowed to do anything outside of school. Fontaine wanted everyone to do what he said. Things got worse at home when Olivia started acting in school plays. He finally told her what she had to do. She could quit acting or move out for good. Olivia made a choice that would change her life when she was only 16 years old. She quit her job and went after acting on her own. She fell in love with the stage while she was at Los Gatos High School, where she was in shows like Alice in Wonderland and The Merchant of Venice. Some people tried to stop her, but she never gave up because she was good at what she did. Then, in 1933, something strange happened. The well-known theater director Max Reinhardt was putting on A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Hollywood Bowl. Olivia was chosen to play Hermia after someone else failed. It looked like a small step forward for her, who was only 18. The main actress and her backup actress both dropped out right before the opening, though. Olivia got the part right before the show, and everything changed when she walked on stage. The crowd loved what she did. Even more importantly, Reinhardt saw what she could be. Warner Brothers was making a movie version of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Reinhardt made Olivia be a part of it. The company agreed, and in 1934, she signed a 7-year deal that paid her $200 a week. For a teen just starting out, that amount was very large. Olivia's big break came with the 1935 movie. James Cagney and Dick Howell, who were already big names in Hollywood, were in the movie with her. Olivia wasn't just another new person, though. She looked like she belonged on TV, and her performance stood out. It was the start of something much bigger. Captain Blood, 1935, was her big break. It was a risky move by Warner Brothers during the Great Depression. De Havilland and Flynn were cast as major actors even though the studio didn't know much about them. Across from Flynn's Peter Blood, an Irish doctor who goes pirate, she played Arabella Bishop, the wild niece of a Jamaican plantation owner. From August to October 1935, movies were shot. When it came out on December 28, the movie was a big hit. It was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It also showed people how charming and beautiful de Havilland was, which made her a growing star. It was clear that she and Flynn were a good match. They starred in 8 movies together and became one of Hollywood's most popular screen pairs. Another big hit for them was The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938. A Technicolor show that was shot from September 1937 to January 1938. De Havilland played Maid Marian, a part that could have been played by anyone. Instead, she made Marian smart and brave, ready to put everything at risk to help Robin Hood and his men. The movie came out on May 14, 1938, and became a classic right away. It was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture. But even though it worked, de Havilland felt stuck. She always played the same part, the beautiful love interest next to a brave man. People loved her in these movies, but she wanted more. She wanted people with depth, ones who didn't just help the story go, but also made it go. With Gone with the Wind, 1939, that chance finally came. Warner Brothers let director David O. Selznick borrow her so she could play Melanie Hamilton. It wasn't like her at all in that part. Melanie wasn't flashy or eager to do things, but she was strong in a way that made her stand out. The movie was directed by Victor Fleming and began filming in January 1939, after the death of George Cukor. De Havilland worked with Clark Gable as Rhett Butler and Vivien Leigh as Scarlett O'Hara. Lee's performance was the best in the movie, but de Havilland's performance as Melanie gave the character depth that made it real for viewers. Melanie was much more than just Scarlett's kind friend because of how warm and strong she was in the part. It was shown for the first time on December 15, 1939, at Atlanta's Loew's Grand Theater. It became one of the most well-known and loved movies ever. For the first time, de Havilland was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Her co-star Hattie McDaniel won the award, becoming the first African-American woman to do so. Still, the nod showed that de Havilland was more than just a beautiful love interest. Melanie made a difference. The part called for sensitivity and emotional depth, not just ease and beauty. For Havilland, it showed what she could do and what she was missing in her work. No longer did she want to play the nice girl in movies about guys. She wanted people that were complicated and hard for her. Warner Brothers didn't want to change things, though. They kept giving her the same kinds of parts, and she was sick of it. She would have to fight for what she wanted. Olivia de Havilland changed Hollywood for good in 1943 when she sued Warner Brothers. Back then, actors didn't have much say over their jobs. They had long-term contracts with studios, which told them what parts they could play. Before this, de Havilland worked for Warner Brothers from 1936 to 1938. It was meant to be a one-year deal, but the studio kept extending it. They used a clause called suspension when she turned down a part or got sick. They were able to put a hold on her contract, but she would never really be free. Warner Brothers said she still owed them time after 7 years in prison in 1943. She chose to fight back. The de Havilland Company sued the studio on August 23, 1943. In her case, she used Section 2855 of the California Labor Code as proof. This section said that no personal services contract could last longer than 7 years. It was clear what she was saying. Suspensions shouldn't make that cap longer. It would be a first in the law that could change the whole business if she won. It took more than a year to fight. Warner Brothers did all they could to have her not go. They tried to ruin her career by putting her on a blacklist and telling other companies not to hire her. But de Havilland wouldn't give up. The California Court of Appeal found in her favor on December 8, 1944. The ruling said that 7 years meant 7 calendar years, not 7 years of working without being suspended. This choice of law became known as the de Havilland Law. The company could no longer tie actors up in contracts that would never end. But it cost a lot to win the case. It cost de Havilland $13,000 to hire a lawyer. That's about $230,000 now. Also, she hadn't had a job in almost 2 years. A lot of people thought her career was over. Then, in 1946, she showed everyone they were wrong. She got a part in a movie with Paramount Pictures. After signing with them, for her strong role, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress. She went from being banned to winning an Oscar in just one movie. She got another Academy Award 3 years later for The Heiress, a movie that showed how versatile she was as an actress. She was in The Snake Pit in Between, which was one of the first Hollywood movies to talk about mental illness. It helped her become known as one of the best actresses of her time and won her another Oscar nomination. She fought for artists who were stuck in unfair contracts, and many of them saw her as a hero. Olivia Fontaine's sister, actress Joan Fontaine, said that Hollywood owes her a lot. But not everyone was on her side. Executives at the studio thought she was causing trouble. Jack Warner thought she was selfish and never forgave her for what she did. He tried to trash her career. Some stars stayed away from her because they didn't want to upset the studios. But she changed Hollywood in the end. Olivia de Havilland and Errol Flynn were one of the best acting pairs in Hollywood history. They were in 8 movies together from 1935 to 1941. People thought their relationship had to be real because they had such good energy. The charming Australian actor Flynn fell in love with de Havilland as soon as they met at Warner Brothers in 1935. He looked great and was 26 years old. She was 19 and beautiful and friendly. Their first movie, Captain Blood, showed that they were unique. After 3 years, Robin Hood's deeds turned them into legend. Off-screen, their relationship wasn't easy. De Havilland said she liked Flynn, but she wouldn't act on those feelings because he was married to actress Lily DeMetta. On the other hand, he had no trouble telling her he loved her. In 1937, when King George VI was crowned, there was a big ball where Flynn told her how much he wanted to be with her. She told him to work on his marriage first and turned him down. And he didn't. After many years, he wrote in his book that he had loved her very much. It shocked and moved de Havilland when she read it. He died in 1959, but she said she had never thought their relationship was unimportant, even after all these years. What they didn't say about their love made their movies even more interesting. At first, they respected each other. Things got tense as time went on, though. De Havilland got fed up with playing the same girl in Flynn's adventure movies over and over again. She wanted more difficult parts, but Warner Brothers kept putting them together. She fought for better chances, which got her into trouble with the company and sometimes with Flynn himself. Things got worse because of how Flynn acted. He was known for drinking, going to parties, and pulling pranks on people, including de Havilland. During Santa Fe Trail in 1940, he manipulated a scene so his face was front and center, while only the back of her head was visible. She thought he did it out of jealousy because she was involved with Jimmy Stewart at the time. By the time they shot They Died with Their Boots On in 1941, tensions had peaked. De Havilland initially refused to work with him again, but changed her mind when he personally asked her. Despite the strain, their final scene together was deeply moving. As General Custer, Flynn looked into de Havilland's eyes and said, "Known for his charm and down-to-earth nature." Their friendship had been a favorite topic in gossip columns, especially after he took her to the Gone with the Wind premiere in 1939. Many thought they would elope, but when he asked sometime,